Hey, shalom, Malcolm, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that's still teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes, and who the Lord is going to deliver in these last days. To you all I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And I pray that this lesson is going to be edifying to the elect. And I want to do a lesson on this article that you see here on the screen. This is from naturalnews.com. And the title of the article reads, Trump chooses pro-Israel Pete Hegseth as his Secretary of Defense. All right. Now, you can ask yourself, what's significant about the Secretary of Defense? All right. What's significant? Let's do it like this. I'll say, 1 second here. What's significant? Hold on 1 second. Significant. Man, bro. All right, here we go. Salaki, I'm just trying to turn. It was a busy intersection. All right, it says, what's significant about the Secretary of Defense, right? This is just a regular Google search. All right, it says the SecDef's or Secretary of Defense's position, the Secretary of Defense's position of command and authority over the military is second only to that of the President of the United States, who is the Commander-in-Chief. This position corresponds to what is generally known as a defense minister in many other countries. So it's based upon defense. And as you read, he's second, the Secretary of Defense is second in command behind the Commander-in-Chief, which the Commander-in-Chief is President. Now, we know that Donald Trump has a pro-Israel stance. Now, while Joe Biden was president, underneath the Biden administration, you had various different events that took place, specifically between Israel and Iran, whether it was the Iran directly, which you've seen that towards the latter part of his presidency, but you also had particular skirmishes going on between Iran and the Hamas, Iran and the Houthi rebels. Iran is really in a 7-front war, against Iraq, Syria, Iran, Jordan, Palestine. I forgot the other two. It's slipping my mind. Lebanon, and there's one more. I want to say maybe Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. But Israel's in a 7-front war. Now, this individual who Donald Trump chose, as you see, is a pro-Israel. He has a pro-Israel stance. And this is why, let's open up with a scripture. All right, this is why the scripture says, we'll get Proverbs 21:1 first, and then we'll get another one in Psalms. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. All right, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water, right? He turneth it whithersoever he will. You see, so the king's heart, or the king's mind, all right, is in the hand or the power of the Lord. You see, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, he has the power to make someone fall, to cause someone to rise. You see, all these different different positions. You have these different military personnel and presidents and prime ministers and things of that nature that are making various different decisions. It's really Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai placing it in their mind to make these decisions. You see, and that's why we believe through the Spirit, okay, that Donald Trump is going to be the one, and we're just saying this as men, but we're saying this in the Spirit as well. We believe that Donald Trump is going to be the one that's going to institute, that's really going to fast track this MOTB system, which is the RFID microchip, man. Okay, and he's going to be the one that's going to also pretty much help push forward of World War III. Now, we know according to the prophecy that the least of the flock is going to draw them out, which the least of the flock is talking about the actual state of Israel. You see, but you have somebody in office who has a pro-Israel stance. Now, all these presidents, it doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, it don't matter. All of them have a pro-Israel stance. Well, what was significant about Donald Trump? Okay, now let's actually get another precept real quick. Psalm 75 and Psalm 75 verse 6. It says for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh is the judge. You see that? The Most High is the judge. Now, it's really Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. When you see that capital G, you know, capital G, but the rest is lowercase, that word is Alahayim. You see? Now, who's the one that's giving authority unto the different rulerships of the planet Earth? Yahweh gave that to his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. Remember, the scripture says that he created principalities, dominions, rulerships. All these various different things were created by him and for him. So this is really Yahweh Shai. That's the judge. As the scripture says in John the 5th chapter, all judgment, you know, was committed unto me of my Father. Right? So it says, but Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. You see that? He puts down rulerships and he sets up other rulerships. So he's going to put down the rulership of Esau, Edom, as the scripture says that Esau is the end of the world. And what? He's going to rise up Jacob. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. He putteth down one and he sets up another. All right. Now let's read this article here a little bit. It says Donald Trump recently announced Pete Hegseth as his new Secretary of Defense, and his staunchly pro-Israel credentials are causing concern across the political spectrum. You see, because his pro-Israel stance, or his pro-Israel credentials, the reason why it's going to cause concern across the political spectrum is the fact that now it's a higher chance of World War III popping off, which we know it's inevitable. According to the prophecies, World War III is inevitable. It has to happen. Okay? World War III has to take place and happen for the kingdom of heaven to be established upon the planet Earth. You see? And it doesn't matter what these different individuals try to do in Congress or in the parliament and things of that nature. Okay? The Lord is going to place it all in their minds eventually to gather themselves, which they're already gathering themselves in the valley of Jehoshaphat over there in the Levant region. It's already happening. Okay? But they're going to gather themselves in that region of the earth, as they call it, the Middle East. Okay? Which is really Western Asia. Okay? Where the Lord is going to gather them together in that region of the earth to judge them. Okay? It says, in announcing his pick, Trump said that Hegseth was tough, smart, and a true believer in America first. And an America first stance is really an Israel first stance. Okay? And that's just the truth. That's why you have all these various different nations, beginning with America, that's been given billions upon billions of dollars, okay, to Israel for all these years. Now the scriptures tell you, according to the prophecies, that Israel will be an afflicted and poor people in the latter times before Yahweh Shai returns. They will be in captivity and slavery. You know, they'll be the tail, while the other nations will be the head. You don't see that happening amongst Israel today. You see? And it also says that when the true Israelites will be in the land, that there will be no more war. You see? It tells you that they will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. A nation shall not lift a sword against nation anymore. Why do you see these various different nations gathering themselves together for war? Well, that's another indicator that the true people ain't in the land. It's just that simple. Okay? It says in 2016, the Harvard and Princeton graduate and combat veteran explained how a trip to Israel bolstered his love for the country, telling the Jewish press that it reaffirmed the ties the Jewish people have to this land that have historical and real geopolitical resonance today. All right, it says, and they're not the people of the land, okay? And we just gave examples that I just quoted scriptures as to how they're not the people of the land. It says, this is not some mystical land that could be dismissed. It's the story of God's chosen people, and they're tying the Most High's chosen people, okay, to those people in the land over there today. Those little hats, man. You see? It says at the 2018 event in Jerusalem, Hegseth even called for King Solomon's temple to be rebuilt on the Temple Mount, which is the site of one of Islam's holiest shrines, the Al-Aqsa Mosque. You see, and there's not going to be no third temple that's going to be built. Okay, the temple that you see being the temple that's going to be built is with the people. Okay, let's get a few precepts on that, because you got these Christians that are expecting an actual physical third temple to be built, which is absolutely incorrect. Okay, this is Ephesians chapter 2, verse this is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 19. It says, now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints. And who are the saints? Psalm 148 lets you know that the saints are the Israelites, the horn of his people. Okay, it says, in the house and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets. You see that? So the people make up the temple. You see, the people make up the temple. And what you see here in America and Babylon the Great, as well as various different places where we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, is the temple, I rather say, of the Lord being built. But we all are individual temples as well too. Remember, the scripture says, let's get that in Ezekiel the 11th chapter real quick. Let's get that in Ezekiel the 11th chapter. It'll be the little sanctuaries. Let's get that. I believe it's Ezekiel 11. One second. I think it's in Ezekiel 11. Here you go. Yep, Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. It says, therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, which that's exactly what happened. We were cast off among the heathen. The true Israelites were, and when you're cast off among the heathen, what happens? You become Gentiles. Okay, you come into a Gentile state of mind. You see, it says, and although I have scattered them among the countries, okay, we've been kicked out of our homeland and been scattered to these various different lands, right? Yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. You see that? A little sanctuary is talking about what? A little temple. A sanctuary is a place of worship. Okay? So no, we don't need to have a physical temple to worship the Most High, because we are the temple. Okay, it tells you that in 2 Corinthians, or what's that? 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. No, you're not. That you are the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth within you. You see? So let's go back. It says, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua Hamashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. You see that? Because it all relies upon Yahushua. All right? It says, verse 21, it says, in whom all the building fit. You see, in whom, so this is talking about the people, the saints. All right? It says, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth until the holy temple in the Lord. Okay? So that's who the temple is. The temple is with the people. It's not going to be no physical third temple that's going to be built. Okay? So going back, and there's various different other scriptures that you can go to prove that point as well too. Okay? Various different prophecies and scriptures that you can go to prove that the Israelites, all right, that the actual Israelites are the actual temple of the Most High, and that the Lord would dwell within us. All right? So going back to the article, it says I just read that. It says, he said 1948 was a miracle. Now, what happened in 1948? Okay? What happened in Israel in 1948? Well, you had the people of Israel, quote, I'm doing air quotes right now, go back into their land and establish themselves. They established themselves in the land as the chosen people. Okay, the Balfour Declaration, where they were gathered together, all right, back into the land through the Balfour Declaration, and the state of Israel was created. And you read about that in Ezekiel the 36th chapter. Okay, letting you know that these aren't the people, man. All right, Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. It says, let's actually start at verse. Let's start at verse 1 real quick. It says, also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. And the mountains represent these different governments, these different rulerships, right? It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy, because the enemy have said against you, all right? Which I'd rather say the mountains here is talking about the leadership of Israel, because now it's talking about the heathen, right? It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. And what's the main ancient high place that's in their possession right now? The land of Israel. Our land. You see? And trust me, They want the land. They want the land of Israel to be their land because what? They ultimately want that blessing back. It goes all the way back into Jacob and Esau. You see, that's what it all boils down to. Okay? And you better believe that Esau is going to fight tooth and nail, and he's going to bring out the sword in order to establish himself as a chosen people of the land. Okay? It says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, because they have made you desolate, talking about the actual Israelites, and swallowed you up on every side, right? That ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. All right, we've been swallowed up, we've been taken down. Okay, and now what? We're in captivity under the heathen, chiefly the Edomites. It says, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy of the people. And infamy goes back to being infamous. Okay, to pretty much have a bad rap. When you get that word infamy, that word is daba. It says whispering, defamation, evil report. You see, you read about that evil report in the book of Esther. You see, when you had the different nations, that was when we were trying to rebuild the temple, and the different nations came and tried to help us build, but we rejected them, letting you know that it's not for everybody. What they tried to make a report to Ahasuerus or Xerxes, okay, to try to get us, to try to kill us off. You know, that this is an evil and malicious people, so on and so forth. And it's the same defamation of character that you see today. The accuser of our brethren, as it says in Revelation, the 12th chapter. All right, it says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh to the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. Okay, the residue of the heathen is talking about the remnant of the heathen. When you get that word residue, that word is sha'aryath. Okay, the residue, remainder, or remnant, what is left of the heathen. That's why Israel is known as the least of the flock. They're the residue of the heathen. Okay? It says, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, right? And against all Idumea. And who are Idumea? The Edomites. Okay, Idumea is a Greek way of saying Edom. Okay? And against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. How did they appoint their land into their possession? Through the Balfour Declaration. Okay, that's how they appointed their land, our land, into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. And that's why when you look at the land of Israel today, you got all this turmoil and hell taking place in that land. Okay, in our land, I rather say, because the actual heathen are up in there, man. Okay, you got the Palestinians. That's what you got. Jake mingled amongst the Palestinians too. Hell, you got Jake mingled amongst the small hats too, over there. You see, but collectively, it's a battle of who has the rights to that land, which is really us. But we're not in our land right now. We're exiled. We've been exiled out of that land due to the prophecies. So it says 1948 was a miracle, according to what we just read here in Ezekiel 36:5. It says 1967 was a miracle. Now, what happened in 1967? You had something called the 6-Day War, which was between Israel, Jordan, and Syria, if I'm not mistaken. You see, so that land has always been under attack to a degree. Even with the Balfour Declaration, I want to say that night Egypt shot rockets on Israel. That's that very same night. You see. But according to the prophecies, as we quoted, there wouldn't be no more war in the land if the true people was there. It says 2017, the declaration of Jerusalem at the Capitol was a miracle. You see, and that's what happened when Donald Trump was in office, and they made that Donald Trump coin, and it had the picture of Cyrus. It had the picture of Cyrus on there, as well as Donald Trump's face on there too. And what was significant about Cyrus was that he let us go back into our land to rebuild the temple after the Babylonian exile. It says, and there's no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the, it says, and there is no reason why the miracle of the reestablishment of the temple on the Temple Mount is not possible. You see that? Now, like I said, we are the temple, and these higher luminaries and elites know that we are the temple. So what do you think that they're going to try to establish the temple? What do you think they're going to try to do? They're going to try to actually enter into the temple and rebuild it with their own thoughts and with their own mind. That's why we believe that the MOTB, all right, is going to be headed through this man, Donald Trump, man. Okay? He said, I don't know how it would happen. You don't know how it would happen, but I know that it could happen. And a step in that process is the recognition that facts and activities on the ground truly matter, he said. The speech took place during Trump's first term as president, and Hegseth told those present at the time that Israel to take advantage of the fact that Trump was in office to pursue their interests because true believers in the White House would back them up. You see, because all the people that truly are in the White House and in Congress are really with Amalek. You see, they all have the interest set for Amalek. Okay, it says he has also taken a pro-Israel stance while covering the war on Gaza for Fox News and referred to the two-state solution as lip service. In addition, he interviewed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for his series Battle in the Holy Land, Israel at War. Why is Israel at war? And wrote, Israel needs our support, in a post on X about the interview. You see, so Trump has the right people in office, all right, to further institute the prophecy of what? The least of the flock, drawing them out, and really pushing forward, and really pushing forward to World War III. But before World War III happens, of course, you're going to have the mandatory implementation of the MOTB be established first, and Donald Trump has the key people in office to push that. One of the main figureheads being who? One of the main figureheads being Elon Musk. You see? So, you know, we believe that with Donald Trump having the correct cabinet in office, which is really headed by the Lord, it's going to really further prophecy, man. Okay? So I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that's what teaching this truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time.